Let's, um, whoops. Let's check. There we go. There we go. Why is everything red? I didn't select nothing. There we go. All right, guys, we are back. Welcome, welcome. Let's get Twitch up on the screen. Hey, guys. It's cold out there today. As you can hear, I got my space heater on. And so I'll move this so we can get her. So we're going to do a little adjustment before I say this. Hey, what's going on, Pre? Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. What's good? Uh, being able to make art. That is good. What's going on with you today, Pre? Working on anything? I'm just gonna adjust um, this image here. Let's see. I kind of wanted to make him a little wider. I don't know if I want to. Let's do it like this. Okay. We're gonna select all these guys. Select a bunch of layers here. I guess that gets select. Well, no. I'm gonna keep these out of there. Um, just adding. You said, indeed, I'm working out, but starting a Christmas illustration. Nice. I always have these ideas of doing stuff for Christmas, and I never do it. We'll even select these guys just in case. But kind of want to make him look a little thicker. So if I pull this, I feel like he makes him look a little more stocky, not so thin. Because I mean, dude loves food, so he can't be thin. I have to move it over a little bit. Now I feel like now I feel like I gotta add in his legs. Dang. A Marv the Martian Christmas illustration. Nice. Mr. Thick. All right. But now we got, since I did that, I gotta add his legs in there. Yeah, it looks a lot better. He was just looking a little thin. Um oh, dude, what the frick? It's like I use two fingers and I accidentally undo everything. Okay, so let me add this. We'll turn this off. Uh-oh, something happened. Something didn't get selected. Are you kidding me? Was it this? For sure. Okay, well that's okay. Um oh let's bring this up front. Lowing, sure I'm butchering that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. Wait, no, you didn't say hello. You just said Jesus loves you so much. Thank you. But good day to you. Good day to you. Hope you're doing well. And yes, Jesus loves you too. Thank you for sharing that. How? Okay, somewhere. How did this? Okay, I think I Oh, don't tell me these are all. I might have to. Um, um. Oh, how do I do this now? Whoops. Okay, I need to turn off this, right? And then turn off these. Do this one. Actually, we'll just cancel that again and then erase. Whoops, undo. Wrong selection. There we go. All right. So deselect and okay, we have our these ones. Turn these back on, and then hmm, somewhere. Okay, hold on a second. We need to liquefy a little bit for some reason. I don't think that was making this. Okay. And then we got this one, should be fine. Okay, and then this has to go back, I think behind there. Good. And then, whoops, we don't need the lasso. Oh, redo. Come on, redo. Let's save all this before it starts going. Cousin spam calling again. Yeah, man. Just constant spam. Like, I get text spam, email spam, I get spam calls, man. The only spam I don't get is the actual lunch product or meat product spam. And everything, all of it is automated. It's insane how much automation has taken over. Do you run out of storage on your Fresco ever? Um, I don't know if it's like actually attached to um like Adobe's cloud or if because it seems like it saves a file on um my iPad and I think I have a lot of space on here still. Storage. Yeah, this thing's got 2 terabytes and I'm not even using jeez. I'm not even using what would be what, a quarter? Not even a quarter, eighth? Wait, yeah, eighth of it. So, and we're still okay, but I still have issues with it when these files get so large, especially if they're sized, like page sizes are large. Um, it takes a while for it to open up. It's not too bad. I'll put up with it. You're running into that problem. That's why I'm switching to Affinity. Yeah, if you have like a few projects, it's probably not too bad. But like I have what I thought was like lost, but it's on there. It's just not showing on the main page. But tons of these full spreads that are like 7.5 inches by, or maybe 8 inches by 16 or 15, something like that. Like full color spreads, yeah, they take up a ton of space. Like this thing, let's see. This thing was, I always have to delete my illustrations out of Fresco to make more room. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of the norm. I've gotten used to that over the years with um, different products. And like I was always throwing stuff on my desktop. And even now, like this iPad has way more storage than my desktop. Desktop is like 8 years old, I think. Not really a big deal though, because it's not like I can go back and edit them. Yeah, I think you can get I think my wife got me like a external kind of drive that I can plug into this if I want to like uh transfer files to that. But yeah, then you're like getting rid of files, and then if you want to go back to work on it, you got to bring it back on. That means you got to move files around, a bunch of file managing, and that can eat up time. It's nice to just have it there. You can work on it without any issues. But I like to have my process on some illustration. Yeah. You always want it there. So if you want to change it, like some of the stuff that I'm like finished with, so I got tons of files here, like stuff I know I'm not going to be working on anymore. Those things I should like take off here. Like I have all, well, actually, I don't know what happened on um my old spreads. I think I moved them all to my desktop. I hope so, because if not, I just lost 2 books worth of spreads if they ever ask for them. I mean, the publisher does have the final all the final spreads, so unless they lose them, but yeah, I got all these files that I could. Okay, I don't know. I need to start organizing stuff better. Home. Yeah, so I got these 2 spreads. This one, and this one are for the first book in this series, is being worked on. So if I lose any, I need to back this stuff up, like make copies and put them somewhere. Because if I ever lose, something happens, I just lost pretty much that whole project. And I don't always think about that. And my dad does residential architecture, and he's been using um, computers for to do his projects for a long time now, and I know he's run into issues where he's lost some stuff before, and it's no fun when that happens. You just wanna smash everything. How do you save into a different folder than cloud? I think it just automatically saves, so if you wanna save it somewhere else, so I have everything. So these are all the files that are on my iPad. So I think there's should be a folder. There should be a folder, with all Fresco, but if there isn't, yeah, see, there's no Fresco folder. Um, I do have Affinity on here, but I don't know if I have a working version of Affinity. Yeah, my iCloud storage is full, so and I wish I could, like, delete stuff from the cloud, but I don't think you can really do that. You just have to get more storage because Apple's like, "Well, it's already on our servers, just buy more storage." And I wanna be like, "Damn you guys, I just wanna delete stuff out of there. You can't delete nothing." I mean, I could delete my files, they'll be deleted off my iPad, but how do I delete stuff out of the cloud? And does it keep all your layers? Yeah, it depends on how I save, my files. So typically, if I save them PNG, it should have all my layers. Or I could just save it as like like a Photoshop file. Um, let's see. Yeah, I need to check this stuff because I don't think I have my new projects, and I need to get rid of some of these files. Uh, oh yeah, so here's the. Um, are these? Yeah, this was the old cover design for the other book series I was working on, the Stella, the little red puppy. But I don't, unless they're in that folder, which I have no idea where it is. Yeah, I have like all the assets where it's broken down into elements of the page because I do that. Uh, I was doing that when I was having to email it, or now I could, what do they call it? Um, just airdrop it to my desktop because I was putting all the assets for each of the spreads together in Affinity because there was no way of sending the publisher the correct page size. So every time I do stuff on in like the first book I did in Procreate and it was scaled wrong or the page size was wrong, and so I had to like take all those assets and bring them into Affinity to have the correct page size for them to print, and then save that file as Photoshop to send to them because that's what they use. They use Photoshop, and I don't have Photoshop. So, fortunately, Affinity allows you to save Photoshop files, which is nice. I love it. You got a 1 terabyte external drive. Is it all filled up? Yeah, if you export as PSD, and that's what I would do, and then I would send it to them, and they'd be like, "There's something wrong with this." And I'm like, "Come on, it's an Adobe product. Why is it not compatible with?" So I would have to do a workaround and bring it into Affinity. I don't know what the deal is. So I would have to bring all the assets for each spread into spread page into Affinity on my desktop and reorganize it, which is not a big deal because all I was doing was scaling everything up a little bit. And I'm like, I totally had the correct page size on my iPad, but I don't know if it didn't match their DPI. So I'm just like, you guys can't scale it up. You guys can't scale it up a little bit. No. So I would do all that. Um, anyways, I need to like, yeah, I need to do something to figure that out because I might have gotten rid of all the old the other book spreads, but they should have been still in here. So I think something happened and I lost those, but I do have them on my desktop. So if I ever need to rework those for some reason or use something from those pages again, I have access to them. But like these right now, I haven't made any backups. Uh, I did send the publisher JPEGs of these, but that ain't nothing. JPEGs are garbage. No, I haven't even been saving my pieces to my external drive. I've just been erasing my layer files. I'm a newbie, really, but now I know to export as PSD. Yeah, always export any project, always export as PSD because it'll save the layers. I don't know if PNGs save things as layers. I don't think so. It's pretty much just PSD. Uh, I always take each element of a layer. So say like um if you want to waste time or you need to rebuild something, you can save elements of your your file as PNGs and it's like Lego pieces. PNG doesn't exist. I always save my files as PNG for printing. Yeah, PNG is good for that, but since in my case with the publisher, they always do some minor adjustments to my pages because they have to put in the text. So they'll do some minor changes. So I always have to send them the full PSD file. But yeah, if you're already done, you're going straight to print. You don't need to make any other adjustments. Yeah, PNG. But I always like um end up having to export these by saving every object or asset, but I call them assets, but objects are the same thing or layer. Like if you have, I might do like, let's see, I'll turn, I'll turn everything off. For example, let's see, what's this? Is that nothing? Let me turn off bow, and I try to make sure some of this stuff will get merged down Like the backgrounds, like if I know the background doesn't need to be changed at all, I'll merge all the elements. But I also make sure to save all those elements separately. So if I do need to make adjustments, because until the project is finalized, like final, everything's been approved, I always want to make sure I keep layers. And then I just turn off that so you don't have no background. And so I'll say I'll export this piece. If I know I'm not going to make any more changes to Rocky here holding the hot dogs and all that, and I know it's getting ready to go to print, and I need to organize all this in Affinity, I'll save this sticker, I guess you can call it a sticker, as a PNG, and then airdrop it over to my iMac. And then I take all those PNGs for that particular spread, import them into Affinity, make sure I have the correct page size. Because for some reason, when I do it in here and I save the file and I airdrop it onto my iMac and I open it up in Affinity to make sure it is the correct page size, it's always smaller for some reason. And it could be because my DPI is lower in this file than what I need it to be in the actual file. So I usually work 400 DPI because I don't think they need anything bigger than what 150 or 300, but I usually go bigger just so if they need to shrink it down, we don't lose any information versus if they have to blow it up, then you start getting more pixelation. I'm sure you know this. You're trying to move to more of a business mindset as in having all my layers in case I have to edit stuff. I've only really made art for myself and for people without them having input. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of want to develop your process. And like I said, until you know that that thing is going to print or whatever it's done, always save everything. Always keep all your layers and stuff, even though that's going to take up a chunk of space. Because until you know you're done with that particular thing and you're not going to mess with it, or maybe you'll mess with it for your own thing later on, but that project is finalized, yeah, always make sure you have all the layers available to you. Because once you start merging stuff down and then you're like, oh crap, I got to change something. Now I can't just adjust it. You got to go in there and physically like repaint some or cut it out or however you do it. And that means you're doing a little bit more work than you need to. Oh, I think I'm missing. Yeah. So I would save like Rocky as a sticker, and then I would do like Bo as a sticker, and then or asset or object, and then maybe the background, maybe the tent, things that might get moved around, that might need to get moved around in the page. Like I'll just kind of just make those assets and then import them into Affinity and reorganize them, and then export that as a PSD because I know that's the actual page size that they're going to see or be able to open. Because I've sent them files from that were saved from here, and they weren't able to open them in Photoshop for some reason. I'm like, this is a Adobe another Adobe product. It should be compatible with all the other applications that Adobe makes. So I don't know. Maybe it was something on their end, but oh, I didn't want to close all that. I did need to, yeah, I usually merge down when I know I'm completely done. I only have line, shadow, lighting. Sometimes, I will make a duplicate of that same file. If I know I'm gonna start merging stuff down, I'll make a duplicate so I still have that that other file with all the layers on it as a backup before I start going at it on the duplicate file and start merging everything down. Because I've found when I haven't finished a product or project and I merge some stuff down and I'm like, "Oh, crap, I need to change it." Like, later on down the line, I'm like, "I need to change it." Now I gotta redraw this whole thing. I can always go back to that original file and grab those assets and redo it again. Because I hate when I merge stuff down and I'm so close to finishing a project and I'm like, "Oh, this needs to be changed," and now I can't make those adjustments because I merged everything down. So you start to, like, learn stuff as you go because you get real protective of your project, and you don't wanna have to be putting in more time than you have to, especially if it's a paying gig, and then you're like, "Man, I don't wanna put all this time into this paint. They're only paying me this much." But in the end, artists are always gonna put more time into those projects than what they're probably getting paid to do. Like, you end up eating hours, and I guess that depends on, like, how each individual artist approaches what they do. Like, some people, like, don't care, and they'll be like, "This is what they get," and it's like, do you wanna continue that relationship? Because they might not come back at you again after you give them garbage. They're like, "Oh, they were very difficult to work with, like, they wouldn't make any changes, da, da, da." And yes, the artist should be getting paid for their time, but when you're trying to get into the business, just getting your foot into the door, you don't have that leverage that somebody who's been in the business a long time, people are seeking them out for their work, and they can say no to projects like, "No, I don't wanna do this or that," or "I want more money." And if they really want that particular person because of their maybe, their prestige or the quality of their work, they're gonna have to pay for it. But when you're trying to get your foot in the door, you do not have any leverage to be making any kinds of demands. They'll be like, "I'll go find somebody else. See you later." They might not do as good of work as you do, but they'll do the project for what we want, and and they'll get their work will get out there, and you're sitting there, holding your dick like, "Man, I can't buy nothing with my dick." Sorry for my crudeness, but that's what it's like like, in the world, and I haven't had much experience with, like, these types of jobs, so you said, "Yeah, just in case, I gotta start doing that because when you leave fresco, you can't undo once it's saved." Yeah. Yep, once you hit that house, that's it. I had the biggest flop making illustrations for my family. I put QR codes on my illustrations to show the drawing process. I didn't realize I picked a QR code maker that charges me 40 bucks a month. Oh man. If I unscribe that QR code will stop working. Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Those are the kind of things we learn as artists, as illustrators, as graphic artists, as try as people uh, trying to be professionals in the business. It's like, yeah, there might be classes and stuff, but they don't teach you every little thing that you might run into, you know. So, yeah, you could go to school till you're blue in the face and you still will not learn everything that you'll come across in the professional world. So it's better to just, go through the trials, you know, and learn from those. And like I said, I don't have a ton of experience in the illustrative world. I've done illustrations just for myself and all that, but like professionally, like these are, I would say, doing these books have taught me quite a bit, in the 3 years I've been um, uh, doing this. And if I hadn't had this opportunity, I probably wouldn't have learned all the things that I've learned along the way as far as using these apps and stuff. Hey, Sabrina Suburban Garden, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Hope you're doing well, having a wonderful time, hopefully. And yeah, thanks again for saying hello. I've never used a QR code for anything, so I mean that's a good thing that that you mentioned. I'm like, oh, they might charge you a fee, a monthly fee, if you want to continue using the QR code. So now I got to make new ones, print them, and have my family glue them on to the illustration. Oh man. Oh yeah. Hey, at least are these illustrations you can't go back and like just re-add, like put in the new QR code and give them new versions of it? Or did it cost you quite a bit to just have those illustrations done or make a sticker? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a little old school graphic design work. If you have to cut out or make a new QR code to place over the old one, I'd have to reprint the whole illustration. Yeah. Were they pretty large size or did it cost you quite a bit? See, I haven't done I that's one area that I haven't done much work in is the output side. Like this stuff, I send it to the publisher and they create all the physical stuff. I haven't even like with my own like artwork done prints or anything other than I'll print them on my own printer and then that's it. I haven't had like a professional business make me a run of prints ever. Yeah, if you're doing it yourself, it can get expensive because of the inks. That's the only thing I have with issue with like I think the quality is pretty good for prints done on, it depends on your printer and if you have access to a higher end printer. But yeah, paper, ink, you know, having access to the printer, that's a big deal to be able to do uh, kind of professional looking prints. And this is why a lot of people farm that stuff out to other places. But my thing is, I don't have a ton of money to invest into prints. And you may do a run of prints of one thing, and those prints might not sell. People might not be interested in that particular print. Not Not that they wouldn't be interested in your like, maybe your other artwork, but you're taking your chance on what you have printed. Like, you might like a particular image, and you're like, "Oh, this will make a great print. Everybody's gonna buy these prints." And you make a run of those prints, and you get them out there, nobody's buying them. You're pushing them. Nobody wants it, and then they see your other artwork, and they're looking at something else, and they're like, "Oh, what about that one?" And you're like, "Shoot, I don't have any of those prints." Cost you like 150 for 3 prints with frames. I got them printed at Office Depot. They actually do really good printing work. Yeah, those places like FedEx, Office Depot, because FedEx bought out, what used to be, um, oh shoot, what were they? Um, oh, what were they called? But they have, access to all the printing and stuff too, so, yeah, they usually do pretty good job. Now, if you go to the high-end places, like, you could get some really nicely, um, uh, prints made. Like, once you start looking into different printing processes, but nowadays, everybody it seems like most people do digital, like, digital printing, so, like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to, like, you know, uh, what, offset lithographer to do, lithography prints," which is kind of I'm sure it's still available, but like a lost art or like high-end screen printers would have cost me way more at a print shop. Yeah. Yeah. When you're starting out, the thing is, it always comes down to the quality. Like, what is the quality of those places like Office Depot or FedEx compared to a high-end print shop? Like, what is the color quality, the print quality, the the longevity of the print based on the materials that is being used? Like, I would hate to do a run of prints and sell those to find out that they, like, fell apart in, like, a few years compared to something that you would spend a little bit more money on just for, uh, the sake of quality and longevity of the print. Yeah, 2 grand for one of those big old that would be sweet to have. Yeah, the colors were on point from Office Depot. I was surprised, and I framed them myself. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Keep the costs down by framing them yourself. Because that's another thing. Some people, they don't wanna buy just the print, they wanna have it already framed. They're like, "I don't wanna have to deal with any of that." Everybody's different, but yeah, if you can frame them yourself, definitely keeps the costs down. But yeah, I don't wanna get too much into spending money if I don't think that stuff's gonna sell, or it takes, like, 5 years before it actually starts to catch on and sell. Only thing I hate is that they didn't separate the prints, they stacked them on top of each other. Oh, did you have some that were sticking together? That's the thing is, like, these places are used to large runs of prints that might not be, um, how did I describe it? Like, where the person doesn't care. Like, I'm just trying to get these prints out, but the artists are gonna care about the quality of their prints because if you got somebody that's buying your work and the quality of print is crap and now it's like garbage after a year or so, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I like their work, but I don't know if I wanna buy any prints from them because the print quality is garbage." And then you end up losing sales because, like, you don't get repeat customers because they think, like, uh, the print quality is garbage. Yeah, I got smudged a little bit. I'll give them instructions next time. Yeah, and that's where, like, these high-end printers or printers who are used to dealing with art prints versus just, a run of prints of something will know that, like, the artist is gonna want the best quality and care of their prints. Whereas, like, you go to these other places that do huge runs, they might not care as much, and that's where you end up with or they don't realize, like, "Hey, I need to be separating each print." Yeah, $20 for 18 by 24. And if the print quality isn't up there, you might not get $20 for the print when you try to go to sell it. People might be like, print quality is not that good. There's smudges, or like it was cut wrong, so it's not even centered in there if you have like a little white border or whatever. The quality was way above $20. Yeah. See, like already you know a little bit more than me because I've never spent money on having prints made. So it's just I would have to go out and find my own and you have to test. I've seen other artists on YouTube do videos on this like, okay, I went to this printer and then I spent this much at that printer and then I went to another printer with the same image and got a different result, but I spent this much money on it and they do a comparison and it's like, yeah, you want a printer that you can trust. You have one posted in your community post? Yeah, I'll have to go check it out. Let me see. Um, if I can find where I look for people. Yeah, I like the piece you did with your grandmother. That was awesome. Is it the the real meaning of Christmas? Which one is it? Oh wait, is it this one? Oh, I see. I want to dance. Oh, I see where you have the QR code on it. Come on, I can't even zoom in. This thing keeps popping back. Come on, YouTube. All right. That's nice. I like it. Damn, yeah, that is a nice size. Yeah, with the reflections on it. It looks good with the reflections on it. It's hard to see the like actual colors, but it looks good. I want to dance. That's nice. Yeah, dope, man. That's pretty good. It's in a gold frame? Oh, okay. I was thinking it was just wood, like a natural wood. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole 'nother field you can start getting into is like frames and like getting like fancy frames. Like, you have a frame especially like made for a particular piece. Now the whole thing becomes a part of that work of art, not just like because I would do that. I would go to Target or wherever, buy or Michael's and buy a cheap frame and just put it in there. But then when you start looking at other frames that people frame work with, and they're like elaborate frames, or some people make their own frames. I have a artist friend, he makes his own frames, and he's not even like a frame maker. He's just an artist, and he makes these frames that fit the artwork, or at least he tries to make frames that fit the artwork, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, but then you have to have the right tools and space to do all that stuff too. Yeah, my plan is to go out and find frames at thrift shops. Yeah, you'd be like, Dondrell, and people start giving you stuff. You're like, "Oh, that's nice." Oh, with the 3D pen? That's cool. Yeah, you have to start off small though to kinda get used to it. I have one of those. I have never used it. My wife got it for me, and I feel bad because I haven't tried to use it yet, but for me, it's like, "Okay, how can I use this tool? How can I incorporate this particular tool in my artwork or my art practice?" And if I haven't tried to figure that out, it just sits on the shelf. But I do have one myself. If I start using it, then everything else, I won't do anything else. I'll just start trying to figure out how to use this 3D pen. And I've seen some people do some crazy stuff online with those pens. So, it's interesting to see once you see somebody do something, you're like your mind or your brain just starts going off, firing off, and and then it's like, oh man, all I have to do is just do it. Might be some trial and error just to get to that point, but yeah, I would like to incorporate it into my paintings because my paintings are kind of I do a lot of mixed media work and I'll incorporate various found things. Kind of like how Dondrell does some. I like those pieces that he does where he incorporates found stuff, and I'm like, man, I need to get back on my those. I have a triptych that I was working on that I was started using materials that I had really never used before. And I'm like, oh, I kind of really like this, especially if it's things that you find like, you just find, like, happen across, and then you can incorporate those things into the artwork. It's just I don't know, it's kinda cool. So I need to add in the legs bit. Sorry, I've been rambling on and on. But I don't I don't, I don't mind. I'm not opposed to having discussions or talks or just chatting about stuff. And I know I have plenty of time to work on this stuff. I have all day today and tomorrow. Adds layers to the meaning. Yeah, especially if they're like, you know, items that can be personal to oneself. People might not, they're like, oh, what's this or that, or things that uh, other people can relate to or connect to. And that's pretty much like pop art. What am I doing here? I'm trying to add legs to this layer, but I don't want to add it to that layer just yet. Sorry, sometimes I have to like uh, talk out what I need to do, or else my mind will just start going elsewhere. Okay, and then we just trim, 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 trim. Okay, copy, paste, and then we'll do this side. Something like this, yeah. Um, and then copy and paste. Oh, oh, duh. No, no, no. You had the wrong layer selected, right? This layer. Copy. Yeah, I started. I've been saving. So anytime we get like avocados or fruits, they have the little stickers on them. I've been saving those to add into like to collage into my works, and it's kind of cool because once you start getting a bunch of the same stickers, uh, I just been like sticking them together to make like a line of those stickers. So and it kind of brings me back to I used to work at um so I worked at Whole Foods for about 5 years in their produce department, and then when I was younger, like my first job was at a grocery store, and then eventually I got promoted to their produce department, and I worked in their produce department for a few years. And I over the years I've worked at various like grocery stores and stuff. But yeah, and it's uh, we were always having to stick those stickers onto the or at least onto the fruits, usually the apples or something. So you'd have to if they weren't already on there. But those stickers were always fun for me. Like I always wanted to steal the sheet of stickers so that I can use them in my artwork. Like, and then now I don't work there anymore, but we still get fruits and vegetables, and then you'll get those stickers on them. I'm like, oh, I want to add these because they're kind of interesting. So little things like that kind of have meaning to me that might not make sense to other people, but like they recognize them and they're like, oh, what's that? I know I've seen those somewhere before because most people grocery shop. Most people grocery shop. Not everybody, but so eventually you'll run across those things. Or even like packaging, like you might wake something up with something new. Yeah, you never know what's gonna uh, what you use will connect or cause that person to connect with that particular work. And it's even more fun when you find a way to use that thing in a way that wasn't meant to be used and you make it interesting. And they're like, I recognize that. What did he do with that? Or what did she do with that? Or how did they utilize it to make it become something else, but it's still recognizable? Can I delete this? Because I don't need that anymore. Or I might need that. 'Cause the way I did those legs is jacked up. Okay, hold on a second. Undo that. And it didn't even hold on a second. Let me clear this. I don't want that clear. Let's do the lines first. Okay, where? Where'd they go? Here we go. Got this line. We got this one. What am I looking for in my dropper? And then we want our sharpener here. I think I need to go up a couple points. And I probably should want it bigger. 16 sounds right. I can be a bit much for some people. I like intellectual thought. Yeah, not everybody is into that, but you just want to be you. So don't, hopefully, you don't let other people keep you from being yourself. And I feel like that's not something I feel like you have to worry about. You seem to be somebody that knows exactly who they are. So, mm, next stop is uh, this line, and maybe that was 14. No, come. You wavered early in life trying to fit in. Yeah, I think most of us do. It's probably, whoops, what's going on here? Oh, did my thing here wasn't, yeah, most of us, we want people to like us, so you don't want to be like doing things that turn people away unless you just type of person that doesn't really care one way or the other if you're liked or not. But, when you're coming up, you want to have friends, you want to make friends. You don't want to be that guy in the corner like wishing that they had somebody that they could, you know, uh, share the passions with, share a like for something like art, you know, and that's kind of an important thing nowadays is like, especially with the internet and a lot of people not being able to engage with one another in real life, unless you go to like art school or some kind of school, you don't really have that, you don't get that connection with other artists unless you find like like community, and that's what I feel like um, is happening on these different social media sites like YouTube. Like YouTube makes it really easy to do that because you just jump on, do your thing, and eventually you'll start to get other dude, twice in one time. I swear to God. Ruthless geezer, dropping your BS in my chat, Twitch chat. Get out of here. Get the F out of here. Swear to God. Come on. Just rude, man. Straight rude. Again with the spam. Swear to God. Twitch, come on. You should be banning bots. People should not be able to utilize bots. But I know streamers need to use bots themselves, so we'll just never be able to get rid of it. Or not get rid of it, but just get rid of all the BS spamming. Says you're an athlete, so it comes with the territory, and I was a point guard, the focus of the team. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think I felt like I fit in when I was younger. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere until I discovered skateboarding. And even then, at times, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, when skate is now, where it wasn't as accepted it as it is now. But you knew as a skateboarder, if you saw somebody else with a with a skateboard, you're most likely going to be able to band come together and be friends in some capacity because you had that thing that um, created a bond, like instantaneous bond, because whoops, because skateboarding wasn't as accepted, so you kind of had to band together. Erase, but now doing my art and sharing what I do, my process has kind of replaced that that I had with skateboarding since I can't really do much nowadays. I mean, I could, but as far as time is concerned and what I want to do, the skateboarding had to take the back seat. Especially, I put in a lot of time, probably more time than anybody should, into skateboarding, especially in their later years, with no prospect of becoming professional or even an amateur that is on the road to being a professional. It was just more for the love of it. So it wasn't like it was going to make me money unless I stayed within the industry, like uh, doing graphics. But it's not so easy to get your foot in the door as far as that is concerned, especially if you're trying to get connected with the big skateboard like deck companies because they usually have their artists, but sometimes they have guest artists come in and do work for them. But I can't imagine there's a whole lot of money to be made in that other than your work is getting out there. So yeah, the the art thing is taking over that for me. That's which skateboarding was one time in my life, like all consuming. So that's like, okay, it's one or the other. And it's nice that the internet is here to be able to connect all, like, us creatives if we want to. Okay, we got those legs. We need to add in. um, I don't think I need this. I don't know what this was. Is that just a dead layer? I hope so. Okay, and then let's see. We need to soften this. Wait, do we? What's creating this edge? This? Oh, okay, there was something else in here. Not sure what that is. If it is part of this. This. Yep, it's part of this. In here, get rid of that. Oops. Make this smaller. Okay. And then we will adjust this. That. Hold on a second. Nice. Yeah, sometimes you got to take time out to. It might not be fun, but take time out to figure out what you need to know that'll help your your work process. Because that is a part of being, I guess, wanting to be a professional in the illustrative world. 'Cause the more you know, a lot of things you just, like I said, you're not going to learn in a classroom. It's on the job. So you might as well, if you don't have a job, an illustration job at the moment, just do whatever you can with your own illustrations that will help you uh, develop that process as a professional. Because you can't wait. People will be like, "Oh, I'll just wait, get the job, and I'll learn on the job." It's like they're not gonna hire your ass because they know you don't know shit. If you can show them that you know something that most people don't know that you can do, that's gonna that's gonna set you above those just everybody else, like who are just like, "Oh, just shows them that those people aren't as serious as the person that's like, um, this is what I want to do." So, like, people they're like get stuck on using one application and it's like to do their artwork. That's cool, but then you come up against somebody that's learned all these other apps, and maybe those apps aren't relevant to um, that particular job or project, but who knows? You might be able to troubleshoot something that somebody that doesn't have that experience would never be able to figure out. So don't limit yourself in the apps that you use. Like me, I could be like, oh, screw AI. AI is just it's gonna it's screwing up everything. It's like, man, you might just be screwing yourself out of a particular job because you have this stance. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like you got to remember, you're trying to make your way in life, pay your bills. Like you can't be, and I know this from experience. Like, oh, I don't want to get into that kind of art because it's not fine art, and so you just limit yourself. Like it's not like you have to use it, but just being able to know to set you apart from just the average person in that field. A person that doesn't have the curiosity to want to learn about the different things that may be part of the new way of doing things. Like with the digital artists, a lot of the digital artists, oh, I can't be bothered with learning how to do stuff IRL or using actual materials. It's not going to teach me anything. Learning how to work with, you know, I don't need to know how to paint with paint, or I don't need to know how to make a, a collage. I can do that digitally, but I think those people limit themselves thinking it's not gonna help inform their working process. I mean, I have the advantage because I do have some of those skills being able to work with materials and stuff because I did it when I was younger and still do it. But I also like those people that work traditionally. Oh, digital, digital this, digital that. I hate digital. It's like, well, I also had the advantage of having access to working digitally at a young age also. So I'm not, it's not something that I'm opposed to or scares me like it would somebody else who didn't have that experience. So why should I limit myself just because somebody else says, well, it's not going to do you any good to know that? I don't know. People have preferences, and you only have so much time too. I had the luxury because I was like, I don't care. I'm not, that's not the field. I'm not trying to be an illustrator. That's what I told myself, even though a lot of my work looks like illustration. I was like, I'm not going to be an illustrator. I'm not going to get into the world of graphic design because of this or that, this person, because of this person's experience, which that's their experience, not my experience. But it took a while for me to be like okay with the fact that I can be an I can do illustration work and also do fine artwork. Plus, fine artwork isn't making me any money. Nobody's buying my fine artwork. So it's like eventually I had to I had to cave, I had to acquiesce, I had to capitulate and be like, look, dude, you could still do your fine artwork stuff, but you got bills you gotta pay. Nobody's gonna pay those bills. Nobody's gonna, you know, you wanted to be a graphic designer coming out of high school. My academic advisor told me it's too competitive and industry killed my will to draw. Yeah, it's weird how what one individual says can like change the trajectory of your path if you don't have the confidence or the experience to know better or both. Like, oh, this is just one person telling me this. Oh, yeah, they're a counselor, but they don't know everything. They don't know me. Like, unless they like know you personally, they might be giving you some bad advice. But the ones that really made it were the ones that said, I don't care what you say. This is what I want to do. And they did it anyways. So, but not all of us, you know, had that within us to be like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do. I knew I liked art and wanted to make art from a very early age. But when I was going through school, I didn't think, oh, this could be like a career. And then when I did, I was like, oh, I don't want this to be a career. So I kind of steered away from that. Oops, that's right. It was this. Um, okay, this storage. Oops, too big. And what am I even using? Where's my basic stuff? My soft brush. Come on, soft brush. Here we go. What about this side? Yeah, there you go. All right. I don't even know if they'll want to keep those drool bits. I don't know why I'm trying to clean up lines either, when all I needed was to tack on that those legs. Let's see. This should be able to get merged down now. Merge this down. Stuff like this. If I know it's going to be a particular layer, same color, that it's just adding on to the shape or whatever. Yeah, I'll merge that stuff down. But two different things. This needs to get added to. Um, I guess I could just go straight on there with this brush. I was using not the grunge soft chalk. Why is this? Um, is it this one? Might have to come back and erase some. Oh, wait, right? Erase, get rid of that line and come back in there. Oh, I can't make that hard edge too much though. Anyways, this should be lower because I'm not getting that chalky look. That chalky look. Chunky chalk. There you go. We'll blend it together like nothing was even wrong with that. Oh yeah, no, you're this hard. Right? You said you always wanted to be a basketball player, but didn't know if it was possible being disabled. Yeah, but aren't there leagues now? That's tough. That's like to me, that's like uh when I was skateboarding, like I didn't know I was just having fun skateboarding. I didn't see it as like a potential to be able to make money from. That wasn't my goal. But nowadays, the young kids are like, "Oh man, I could be a pro." Even amateurs can start making money. I was like, "I love skateboarding. I know where I'm at with it. I'm not top tier. I was decent at it. I didn't know the right people." I knew the right people. They were my friends, but I mean, as far as like in the industry, especially locally, I was just a very naive young person with high ideals. Like, I actually started my own semi-pro wheelchair basketball team in Oregon. Oh, that's cool. Do you still do it or have connections with it? Oh, I didn't realize there were four pictures to your post there. Okay. Um, get back here. No, you retired 3 years ago. Is the league still going though? Because I mean, even if you don't continue doing it, hopefully that opened the door for um, others who want to, that's their dream. That's cool. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Even though I don't really skateboard as much as I used to, I still keep up with it. NWBA. I'm assuming there's like other leagues around other states that like you guys connect with and have like games or tournaments. You know what? Where the hell? Oh, I forgot. I gotta change these bits, which need to go to the correct. Okay, it's this one. And then um, that's the drool. Where's my highlights? Is this the highlights? Okay, where are the highlights? They're turned off. That's that slide. That's that. That's that. Dude, where did it go? there's a paid pro league in Europe. That is it's funny how, like, the Europeans, like, have their teams and stuff. Because I know, uh, uh, f I wanna say a friend of the family, but they're more like, I guess, considered cousins. Um, One guy, he played basketball for the same high school that I went to, and he went on to, um I can't remember if he did professional basketball in Europe because I don't know if he was able to make it in the leagues here in America, but he made a living playing professionally in Europe, and I think that's so cool. They're linked into the soccer leagues, that's how they get their money. Oh, okay. Yep. There's hopefully there's always a place for somebody, you know. You still be able to get to live your dream, even if it's not like, "Oh, I don't get to play professionally in America." You could still play ball somewhere. Man, where is this? I swear to God, it's turned off somewhere. I hate when layers with tiny little things on them get lost in the mix. Where did it go? Unless it's already in here somewhere. Wait, is it this? Oh, that's the drool. Oh, it might be this. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. That's why you don't associate, yeah, America. They won't do it here in America for some reason. You know why? Oh, like America won't they won't dump money into it? Yep, unless they know it's gonna make a profit. That's the difference between Europe and here is, like, I feel like, yeah, maybe they're thinking about the money a little bit, but they're more like, "We'll invest into, this." I don't know, maybe I just don't know enough about their leagues either, but I feel like in America, it's gotta make money or, they won't get the sponsorships, they won't get, like, the coverage that they should get. You got a bad taste in your mouth when you were a coach. I won a national title, I wanted to be paid for my work. They didn't want to, so I quit, yeah. It's tough, it's like, how much do you want? How 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 much do you want to, fight for something like that? Maybe somebody else will come up and be like, "Yeah, this is I'll do that," but, I think it takes a special person to wanna stick it out and deal with um, the hardships of that. But, I mean, again, then it's like, do you get to reap the reward if you do? Or is that something you get posthumously when you're long gone and they're looking at you like, "Yeah, they did this. They didn't get recognized while they were alive, but we'll honor them posthumously because they got that ball rolling." That's the thing with America, like, why there's always gonna be that that divide, the the disparage between those that get some or have something and those that don't, because this country is built on those divides. Like, even just our economy, like there's got to be people that don't have, and then there's going to be those few that do have, and everybody's just trying to get by and live their life however that may be. If they end up on drugs because they don't, for some reason, or they end up homeless, or both, or it's like, well, sorry, I can't help you because I'm trying to make it. I'm just trying to get by on my in my life. God forbid you talk about social programs to help people. Oh, you a communist. You're like, you guys don't even know what a freaking communist is. Like, socialism isn't communism. Like, and who's to say, like, the kind of government we have is any better? I don't live in communist countries. I know, because with all the corruption that's here, it's almost like, what's the difference? There's still people that have, and there's still people that don't have. And the people that have are trying to keep the people that need it from having it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's an interesting take on it. But do you think that technology is still a long ways off? Because you look at these robots now, it's like, yeah, they show you the best of what they do, but behind the scenes, you don't see how terribly those things function. Like, they show them at these conventions, like they're unveiling their new robot, and the motherfucking thing falls off the stage, can't even catch itself or whatever, starts fumbling around, knocking stuff around. I've seen videos that people have done, they got their little robot and stuff, and it just destroys their home, and it's like, that thing's supposed to help us out. I mean, if you want your home demolished, yeah, it's like they'll definitely help out in that sense. So, again, I don't know if the technology is where it needs to be for that stuff to happen, unless we go like virtual, and it's like NBA jams, professional league, virtual professional league, where people that, you just put on the virtual helm, and you just play in a virtual space. I could see that being something, but until the physical technology can catch up to, um, what humans can actually do, um, I think it's still a long way off, because it's almost like, oh, they could be using robots in space, and they kind of do, but I mean, now you can have humans on Earth controlling robots in space or wherever, as long as the signals are good. Like, dump them on an asteroid, start mining the asteroid for, um, precious elements. Like, This is the type of stuff that I think about when people start talking about technology and stuff. Like, will humans be doing that type of stuff? Because who knows when precious materials start to become more rare, and then you find out, oh man, there's all these things out there in space, in just in our solar system, and if we could just get to them, and yeah, it's going to take a lot of human ingenuity and money to do that. And there's always going to be people opposing that type of stuff. Like, oh, there are people here on Earth starving. Why are you trying to go to Mars? Like, why are you trying to set up uh communities on the moon and get yourself to Mars and stuff like that? What, for the same exact thing that we already have on Earth? Like, you see all this stuff in popular culture, like movies, like all those ideas get played out on the screen, you know, and what ifs, you know, if that were to become a reality, because it's only gonna be the rich, like the old oil barons, of this country, like that profited off of all that. It's only the ones that have the money now that are gonna be able to continue to generate that money that will pay for those particular projects in the future of, like, maybe going to other planets or mining mining asteroid fields. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know enough about anything, but as a creative and having an imagination, those are the things you start to think about. And then those things actually start to become reality over time. Parents don't want their kids with physical limits if they have a choice. Yeah, with all the um, genetic engineering and stuff, like, what do they call it? Being able to pick, certain traits of your children. Ooh, that just seems dark. But, you know, with the positives come the negatives and vice versa. That's why you had a bunch of surgeries as a child. Um, you wanted to fix we want to fix ailments, yeah. You know, that's tough as a parent because you're thinking about, like, you're imagining what your kid's gonna have to go through in life, and maybe they worry a little bit too much because maybe that child would uh, can, will learn how to adapt, and if they have the will and the right attitude, will you know be able to live the life that they want to live. But yeah, parents are always going to worry about their kids unless they don't care about their kids, because there are some parents that don't care about their kids. Imagine parents' brains in a tech world, like electronic brains, where everybody just gets replaced with an AI version of themselves. As long as you can have, if as long as you're able to have new experiences where you can grow, if not, you're just like a ghost of your old actual self. Yeah, these kids nowadays. who eventually will grow to become parents and their kids, like what kind of things their kids will experience in the future, what kind of um, trials and tribulations will come along with the world that they exist in. It's interesting to think about. I think we're definitely moving away from the physical world. Yeah, there'll still be some holdouts like me. Like, I still like doing the traditional arts, but, you know, some people will not find that they'll not find that relevant anymore. And it's like, okay, with all these new technologies, you know, let's see what we can do with this. Like even the art world is holding out like, oh, it's it's the traditional arts. And even then there's battles between, classical artists and the new contemporary or modernist artists. They can't agree on what's what. Change is crazy for the mind. We all like to live in um the banal. We like our routines until the routines kill us from the inside. Yep, comfort for sure. Nobody wants to live, be out there thinking like you see on Wild Kingdom or whatever, these animals getting hunted and stuff. Nobody wants to be in that position. But in a way, you're still being hunted, just not like in the old ways or new ways you're being hunted and not even knowing it. All right, I think I got the legs in. We're moved over. Mm, oh yeah, I was trying to move these little hot dog thingies. Come on, come on, hot dog thingies. Let's put that back down. Mm, then I need to move that. What's going on? Okay, okay. This needs to go right now in front. Come on. Oh, I got it done. Done that. Okay. And then, whoops, gonna merge these, not merge, but group these together. I really like this feature. This right here assigns a particular layer to another layer. Uh, when I discovered that, I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. But it also has its limitations too. Okay, what's going on here? Where something got left behind. Something. Oh, that's right. I didn't split these up. Okay, hold on. You gotta split this. Okay, and then copy, paste, and done. Get that out of here. Back down here. And there. Turn this off so I can see what I need to get rid of here. Sorry for don't no need to apologize, Pre. I love I love talking about stuff like this, even if it does kind of seem to interrupt what I'm doing. If I'm not saying, "Oh, no more," I'm into it. I'm into talking about stuff like this, especially when it's not like every day. It's not like every day I talk about stuff like this, but I like I like also being on this platform for that reason is that I can either, if nobody's here, ramble on about stuff like that, or if somebody is here, talk about stuff like that. Erase because it's interesting to me. I mean, as an artist, it's like it's hard not to think about what might come in the future or things that are happening now that may become our new reality. Okay, hold on a second. I know there's not a lot, there's not a lot of people that like to talk about stuff like this too. So when you can find somebody that you can talk about this type of stuff with, it's always a good time. You got to go live more often. Yeah, you do what you feel comfortable with. For me, um, I was using it to document my what I was doing as far as my art. It started off with my actual paintings because I just wanted to be able to go back and say, "Oh, okay, I did this and that, and that's what that this is the outcome." So I needed that because I'm not very good at keeping notes, keeping a diary or journal of what I'm doing. So this acts as that, and then I can always go back and watch them and just see what I do, and that might when I'm watching my process, I start to think about like ways of changing that or evolving that or like taking it in a maybe in a different direction or what if I do this and that. And then when I go to actually get in the studio, I can implement that stuff. But usually, if I don't really think about what I did before unless it's really kind of stuck in my head what I'm doing and my process. So it's nice to have that documentation to go back to and be like, oh, I did this and that. Something. Let me try that again, but I'll change maybe this step or use this material. I usually don't because of the transferring my files to my computer, but now you taught me something new. I can only go live on PC right now. I don't have enough followers or views. You don't have enough, like, you don't have the 50 followers that'll allow you to live stream? I'm assuming you do. Hold on a second. What am I trying to do? Oh, yeah, you need 21 more. You know what's funny? I tried to go like if so I've been doing this, let me see. I think with YouTube, I've been going live at least for a little more than a year. But before that, I was trying different stuff. Like I started off with Facebook because I started hearing about people going live on Facebook. I'm like, oh, let me try that. And I did it a little bit, but I wasn't impressed with the quality, like actual video quality, because I was streaming from my garage and my internet was barely connecting to my phone in the garage. So it would always look choppy and just the worst. So I ended up trying Instagram and it got a little bit better. And this was probably maybe a couple years ago. Yeah, I think I've only been trying to do this for like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, because it's 2025. I think somewhere between 2022 and 23, I started getting interested in it and checking it out. And then I did, so when I was doing Instagram, I was like, oh, let me see what, because I started hearing about people live streaming on YouTube, and I was like, oh, let me see what YouTube. And I was like, why can't I live stream on YouTube? And I didn't understand that you needed to have 50 subscribers to start live streaming. And I'm like, well, I guess I can't do it on YouTube. And I'm not sure how many subscribers I had at the time. So I just gave up on YouTube and I went back to Instagram. And then I don't know how long I was doing Instagram for, maybe like a half a year, maybe a little more. And then I was out in the garage and I was like, well, let me check Facebook or not Facebook. Let me check YouTube again because I was watching a lot of YouTube. And then I was like, oh, what's this plus down at the bottom? And so I hit that. And then it was like, oh, live stream. I'm like, what the hell? It wouldn't let me do it before. And then later on, I read about that. Like, yeah, you had to, or heard about it, that you had to have 50 subs to go live. And I was like, oh, somehow in that time that I was off, uh, not trying to, just watching stuff on YouTube, I don't know how I ended up getting to 50 subs. I know I was posting videos though. I was posting my style writing, um, uh, little short videos like uh, time lapse that I was doing digitally, and some other like just digital painting videos. And I think based on those, that probably got me enough subs to when I went back and I tried to see if I could live stream again, and it was that plus was there. I was like, "Oh my god." And I just started from then on, I just started live streaming solely on YouTube because I got bummed out that with Instagram, you can only go an hour and then it would kill your stream. It wouldn't even like I don't even think it notifies you, like gives you a warning or anything. It just kills your stream after an hour. And I'm like, man, Instagram, I'm so involved in what I'm doing, I'm not paying attention to what time it is. I'd have to set like alarms to notify me, like, oh, the stream's about to end. And I wasn't doing that. I was just like focused on doing my paintings. So I'd be thinking I'm streaming and go and look, and I'm like, nope, Like, how much of it did I miss? Because I was using that to document my process. Um, you said I would go live every day if I could stream from my phone. And I share my studio space with my mom, and she's a counselor, so I usually can't go into my studio till after 7 p.m. Yeah, I can't stream every day. I probably would stream every day. Anytime that I would work on artwork, I would probably be streaming it. Like I said, just because I use it for documentation, but now it's kind of changed a little bit. Sorry, Twitch. I keep forgetting you're here, but nobody's in the Twitch chat anyways. Um, but yeah, I would just be using it to document whether people come into chat or not. I would still live stream just to document it because I do like to go back and watch the stream. At first, it was a little uncomfortable, like listening to myself speak, and I'd be like, "What the hell am I talking about?" Sometimes I just ramble on, or before I got the new earbuds, which act as my microphone, I could barely hear what I was saying through the mic on the phone. I'm like, okay, I'm using this more for the visual to see what I'm doing than actually listening to what I'm saying. But after doing it for, let me see, a little over a year now, um, it's like, okay, yeah, I do want people to be able to hear what I'm saying if I need to say something. And also now there's a group of people that do come and check me out. So I also way back when I was like I try to stay engaged with the chat, but when I was working out in the garage, uh, I would get so involved in the painting that I would forget that I was even live streaming and forget to check to see if anybody was there in the chat. So it's like now I feel somewhat obligated to make sure I stay connected with people that come into the chat. So, and it's good. I mean, it's probably some of the only um uh connection with people I have besides my wife and the few people I see at work. Like I don't have too many friends that I hang out with here in Iowa because this is not like I didn't grow up here, so it's not like I have all my friends here um, that I can go like, let's go hang out, you know. And I have people that I'm acquainted with that I've done stuff with here, like art shows and stuff here, but I've never made the effort to be like, let's do stuff outside of whatever. So it's nice to make sure I keep that connection with people in chat like you. Like even though it's uh just like internet kind of connection, it's still a connection, but it's tough cuz like I know how it is being in somebody's chat and you're trying to like express, something and it just doesn't always come across correctly in chat or because of there might be a delay whether the person's not paying attention to their chat and keeping up with it. Um, or they're so busy, or there is that weird like text to like the person who's hosting the stream and you're getting you're hearing and sensing the emotion through the audio, but when you guys are chatting with me via text, I don't always get that. We need video chat. Yeah, that's I see it going that way. It's how to manage all the people in your chat who will be wanting to speak when they want to speak. It's almost like a Zoom call. Like you see these Zoom calls or you see people um live streaming like through Zoom or something like that, and everybody starts talking over one another, and then everybody will shut up or they won't shut up. And then you're like and then they all start talking again at the same time, like, it's a little awkward, but it's like how to manage that. But then with more than 5 video chats, that would get crazy, yeah. The cacophony of voices would be awkward until people, like, realize how to communicate in that manner. Because like, if you've ever been on X or Twitter and they do their audio chat rooms, and people can raise their hand to be, seen that they wanna speak, and they go like that, but it's like, that's not really natural, though. Like, if you're in a group of people together in real life having a conversation, you can pick up on those social cues, but digitally, in a Zoom call, it's hard to do that. Auto mute would be good. Yeah, I don't know, maybe somebody would have to have, like, they would ha what is it? When they do those, um, kinda like Democratic, round tables, and somebody's gotta have the special item that means that they can talk. I don't know how to describe that any better than that. So whoever has the item is the speaker in the moment. Nobody else can really talk. They need to figure something out like that. Or maybe there's a better way of doing it. But even if it were like virtual like you're in a virtual chat room and you see everybody's avatar or whatever, it would still be weird because it's not like an actual human interaction unless uh, the avatars were so detailed and you got expressions and mouth movements and like they're actually believable avatars. I don't know, maybe when things become holographic. Yeah, if you could read body language and like just you know get a sense of like just those little social cues. But even then, some people in real life don't get those, and they'll just start talking over other people or interrupting other people. All right, we have this particular one and this one. Clean that up. This is not right. Move this. You know what's would be cool? I picture like I just had this thought is this book going digital, that all these scenes could be somewhat animated. Like this fire, the flames could move like a fire. This the light from the fire hitting like the metal forks, just having like little movement, like even the hot dogs having like some heat or something coming off of them. You know, the light in their eyes glinting, so there's a little kind of movement. That fish in the background jumping in and out of the water, just little things like that, which would make interesting visuals. And since this book could be digital, you would see that, which make would make that something that would be desirable because it's you can only accomplish that via the digital in the digital realm. Like, yeah, you can have the physical copy, the physical book, and you could be like, well, why would I want the digital if it's pretty much the physical and vice versa? Like, why would I want the physical book if the digital has this extra stuff? You know, just a curious thought I had. You've been talked over your whole life. Yeah, some people just don't have that sense. They just wanna get out what they have to say instead of like, "Okay, let me rein myself in and let's hear what this other person has to say," and not be in their head also, like, waiting for that moment for when that person's done talking to all of a sudden just start talking. So, basically, you didn't listen to a word that person was saying. You were just preparing what you were about to say after they finished, because you have a deep and quieter tone. Yeah, I've always been that quiet kid. I didn't I guess according to my parents, I didn't really speak much until after I was 4 years old, and even then, I probably didn't say much. I keep forgetting there's an element in here that I don't think got added. Um, okay, we got the fur. There's some lines in here that I think that are not necessary, but they might be, like these along the side of his head. I might not need to add that. There's probably a bunch in bow that I don't need to add, but um, there was, if it's in here, the original drawing. It was like smoke or whatever coming off of the hot dogs or the heat or steam or whatever that I kind of want to add. I'm prolonging getting this off to the publisher 'cause wait, I did draw some stuff, I thought. Maybe I turned it off. Mm, nope, 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 it's not there. Sign language can be more powerful than actual words. Yeah, especially when you see them the people signing really getting into it. You could feel the emotion through their signing. Okay, where? Okay, that was the original color. Where? Oh, here it is. All right. We'll take. Oh, hold on. Shoot. We need to take these, bring them up here. Okay, there's our guy. Put them here. This I don't really need, so we'll drop that. Where was that thing? Take that. I'm gonna take that. Come on. Uh, you have to watch before you respond and sign. Yeah, I wonder if people who sign ever talk over one another signing. We need to be mute again. Yeah, the good luck on that. Unless you start removing everybody's vocal cords, which would be a horrible. This is a horrible thought, but you- okay, we have our. Okay, I'm not sure which one's which. There's that, and then this one. Don't know if this one goes with that. It's okay. We can fix it. But I go and make this. Whoa, I didn't realize that went all the way up there. Okay. Um, I don't know. I kind of almost liked it like it was partially overlapping the dog. What about this side? What about this one? Let's see. You'd have no idea what the other person is saying if you sign over another person signing. Yeah. Because they haven't finished what they were saying. Can our brains process those two things at once? Maybe. So I used to deal blackjack for a casino. And when I started out, like I was really slow as far as counting the cards, like uh, tallying up the amount that the cards, had. But after a good year of it doing it, it was automatic. Like I knew what that person had as soon as I pulled the card out of the shoe, just the little corner of the card, as soon as I scooped that up and I saw what was on the corner, I already knew their total. And sometimes I would be grabbing their money before their cards would finish coming out of the shoe and getting laid down in front of them. because I already knew what they had, and if they broke, I was taking their money. So, like, I think it could, if you do it enough, yeah, learn behavior. It could be something that somebody could be watching 2 people having an argument, and they're all signing over one another. I bet, you know, there's somebody out there that probably can do it. Maybe people who sign themselves, like, that is something that they're capable of doing that people who don't who don't sign even notice or realize. Alright, we're going to and I wanna do, I don't know why I keep trying to add stuff to this instead of just trying to get it saved and sent off to the publisher, because 'cause I'm not lacking in other things to work on. Let me see. I can always change the blend mode. Maybe that might make it a little interesting. Okay, where'd it go? It's not doing anything interesting. I mean, that's kinda what I want, but I don't like the lines. Hey, Melody, how are you doing? Oh, the doggy drool, looking good, Amizu. Hi, Pre. Thank you, Melody. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get this to a point where I can save, send off to the publisher, and hopefully they like what they see, and I can continue just finishing it. But I threw in a little bit more detail, some highlight on the water, a fish jumping, some fire light on the log, which I'm not digging right now. Um, I think I need to add a little bit more shadow darks to it to give it a little more dimension or depth. Like there's actual bark on it, or it could just be one of those logs that there's no bark on it. You think the fire looks dope? The only thing I'm not liking is the lines in there, but it gives it some kind of form. So I don't know if I need to play with the lines a little bit, like changing the color, varying the color, modulating the color of the line itself to make it not seem so solid. Can you take the line work out? Yeah, if I take it out, then it's just like I would have to shape it. Right now, I just use the watercolor brush to kind of shape it. I mean, it's not too bad, but I think it needs a more coherent form or shape. Like I don't mind the reddish part because I did do that a little bit, but the orange needs to be shaped a little bit better. Yeah, I think if I modulate the line's color so it goes in and out from light to uh, maybe blending in a little bit more. I think, and also there's too many lines. I got lines for the rocks, lines for the fuel, the wood, and then also the line that uh, denotes the shape of the fire. They're all too similar. If I got rid of the lines for the rocks and I just had more of the fill defining the shape of the rocks and then also the wood or the other way around. Again, I think I would need to reshape the orange part of the fire. Maybe a little bit of the red, but the orange would definitely put a gradient in the line work. Yeah, that's what I mean by modulating. You're just changing what's in the line, and that wouldn't be too hard. Actually, if I did this, whoops. Okay, this is already, so what is this? I could take this off. Whoops. No, take that off. Take that off. Dude, take it off. God, what are you doing? Oh, what did I just do? Oops. All right. This, I'm not trying to select more than one. Oh, that's right. Turn that off because that's affecting everything. If um, it's not bad when it's darker, but I kind of wanted it lighter. If I associate this with that, but then I altered the blend mode, maybe that's not bad. Okay, so this overlay is cutting into the orange. This overlay blend mode cuts that line into the orange. That's not too bad. And it gives that nice red around the firewood, which is already kind of white and yellow. And then also um within the fire it defines the edge of the rocks. It's not too bad. I could play with that a little bit more. But it definitely helps, so it still defines some of the shape of the flames, because the flames are way too, chaotic and kinda bubbly. But, yeah, it's just playing around with stuff like that, which I would do later on when, if they approve this cover, when I go to finalize everything that's in there, uh, that's the type of stuff I would end up doing. Is making all those little adjustments to make things either stand out or get pushed back in the background. Just creating more depth, utilizing these blend modes. I've been playing with those quite a bit in some of my other stuff. I don't think I've mastered them, but if I play with them enough, I can kind of figure out uh, their properties and if it'll work for what I need to use. But yeah, it's fun. I'm still learning this app quite a bit. You said have some line, in your opinion. Yeah, I definitely. I always feel like I need to outline something. Hey, what's up, Travis? How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Yo, yo, what's up, big bro? You going live again, Trav? Are you gonna be gaming? I caught like the tail end of your stream. You must have finished those panels off. Yeah, I think I like caught the very tail end of it. I'm like, oh no, he's already done. Put a gradient line in the line work. You'll figure it out. But remember, you can send it to the publisher, then to do. Yep, that's what I'll probably do. Um, I always feel like the more detail I add into it, the the more it'll help maybe sell the image to the author, but that's not necessarily true. So that means I put in more work than I needed to try to sell the image. But my wife really liked it, and I'm kinda liking it. And you know what? It kinda reminds me of something I feel like I've seen before, but I don't know. Not like the image itself, but the feel of the cover reminds me of something that I've seen before. But, there's so much artwork out there. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll not want the fish jumping out of the water or different placement. There's a ton of stuff that I could definitely add in. I feel that would make help that background, that line of trees and bushes. But you know, I'm gonna leave the fire like that for now. And then all I wanted to do was add like steam coming off the hot dogs. So if I get my watercolor brush out and do, I don't know if it should be white or what. This might be too much. I might actually have to use um, the soft brush to kind of smooth this out. That might be too much. But hey, it's always better to go past what you need than never get to that line to cross. That was one takeaway from intermediate drawing class that I had taken right at right after I graduated high school, and I was like, I need something to do, and I took some extension courses at the University of Minnesota, and one of them was a drawing class, and the teacher. I see this a lot with people in their drawing. They draw too light. They don't. Drawing is kind of about contrast, whether it's lights and darks or uh, patterns, shapes, everything. But usually people don't go dark enough when they're doing their drawings to help create that illusion. If that's what they're trying to do, if they're not trying to do like capture a certain type of naturalism, then hey, that's fine if you want your whole entire drawing light. Yeah, this'll get so and then I don't want that line. I definitely don't want the line. I'll this has to be softened. So if I use this soft round, kind of go big, I can definitely make it a lot more translucent. Also, observational drawing or just observation in general of the world around you will definitely improve your artwork. Because if you don't understand how things are in the real world, if you're trying to create things to be um, believable that are from the real world, then your art might be lacking. I could cut into this though. Yeah, the line work will definitely have to go. I don't know if that's too much steam, but the line work is definitely not going to help that. The shape of this too, I'll have to work on the shape of this, but I'm just gonna get a general. Wait, 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 wait. That's right. I wanted this normal so I can see the general shape. Wait, is it this one? It's this one, right? Okay. Make sure I got the right layer. Yeah, the shape of that is not right. You said, Trap said, I finished the panels and painted the example. Oh, you did? I might have to go back and wait, did you paint it on stream? Because I might have to go back. I want to see how you did that, how it turned out. And be gaming in a bit. All right, man. Uh, happy gaming. Maybe I'll hop on. I'm not really listening to anything or watching anything, so um, thank you, Melody. You know what? I don't mind this one, but I'm kind of not digging that shape. Whoops, I can't get this. Oh, this what? Sometimes this watercolor brush, it's awesome, and then other times it's not awesome. I just want to be able to create a very thin line, which I can get if I manipulate my what I have here. I don't need my earbud right now. You did it on stream? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I might go watch that because I want to see that. I wanted to see how you painted that. So um, yeah, I'll definitely go and check it out. I'm like, I can't believe I already missed his stream. Like, even if I'm going live, I got all my other devices going. It should have notified me when you went live. That's okay. That's what the VODs are for. You always hope that somebody, you want people to be come into your live streams, but then you also hope that people are watching the VODs of your live streams because you just don't want the views to end at the live stream. Yeah, I need to where's wait. Oh, it's trying to erase something that I didn't want to select. Come on. This is what we wanted. Yeah, I should reshape this first before I do an overall, like just blending out. That's okay. I can always go back in. I see the other layers affecting this too. Plus, can I get rid of this line? Yeah, something like that. I can give it to him like that and reshape it. I feel like that's not too bad. The tent's a little bright. The tent flap. Um, I'm worried about how this paddle runs into this text, but this might not be the actual color of the text they use because I copied that from the previous book cover that they sent me because this should actually say "Go camping." Um, but they said this is about the placement of where the text is going to be on the cover. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more. I think the sky is good. Um, the background needs work, the foreground needs work, the line work and the dogs need work. There's some stuff I need to add to both. Just all the little details like the highlight reflections for the noses, um, cutting back this light color in Rocky so it looks like this to give it a little more dimension. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. But for I want to say I think I started this maybe Thursday or Friday, and for the amount of time I put into it so far, I think uh I think this is not bad. Now, if I they come back to me and say nope, I'm, I'm gonna be like, oh man, why didn't I just send them the line drawing? But it's always good to kind of fill stuff in a little bit, show them a little bit of detail. Um, because then that again that might help sell the cover. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. Melody, you said you are totally teaching fresco. If you made this into a how-to video, that would be helpful for people and get lots of views, I'm imagining. Yeah, my thing, Melody, is like, okay, what do I do? Where do I start? And there are also other YouTubers out there that already have um, videos, but I could probably model mine off theirs. Like, say, um, I just kind of show some of the tools, how to use some of the tools. Because there's this guy, Chris Piasek. That's who I watch. I watch his channel because he strictly uses Fresco now. He used to use Procreate. Now he just mainly uses all of his illustrations, and he's he's a pretty big professional illustrator uh, and that uses this mainly to do all his work. So yeah, but I could try some stuff, maybe some shorts. I don't know. I'd have to figure out. I'd have to actually sit down and figure out what I want to do because there's so much to this app, and it's like, okay, do I just show some brushes? Like, what am I gonna showcase that maybe have been missed by other people, or something that helped me in my work that I learned that helps me in my work, and maybe start from there. But I'm so focused on just doing the work. It's like the thought of, okay, trying to make a video now is another project, but uh, I'm not opposed to it. It's just making time for it. But yeah, I think right now at this point, I can export this. I did export one yesterday, but I didn't send it off because I knew uh, Rocky was too skinny, so I made him a little thicker, and then I started changing other things or adding things that I knew I needed to add. So we have this where we just export these as um, JPEGs for now. But let me put a title on here. I'll keep the date. Rocky. Boom. Go camping. Camping, March. Done. So I will keep. keep it at the highest quality it'll do. Um, uh, I will airdrop it. No, I'll save it. I need an image in my iPhotos, and then I'll export it. Geez, they keep really? I want the library. And then we will I don't know if I just wanna just send it to the publisher in an email or just text it to 'em, airdropping it to my iPhone. I think this is the one. The 2 phones that I have that I use. Alright, Melody, take care, thank you for joining, and, we will see you sometime soon, if not soon, at least on Sunday. So, Sunday, everybody, is, the winner reveal for the 30 Seconds to Masterpiece on Melody's channel, Melody Provenzano's channel at Melody Prov, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Uh, we'll be going live, and yeah, we'll hear who the guest critics chose and also the popular vote. So there'll be 2 winners, and I can't wait to see that. I was gonna say who wins. Everybody's a winner. All right, so I have that. I'll send that off after stream. It's 2:45. I am going to where is my I'm in I was thinking of since I have a little bit of time, where's my rock? Where'd my rock go? I was thinking about working on my turtle to get some actual painting, not digital painting or drawing, some actual painting in. And I haven't touched this in some time, but I would like to kind of get this one done. And yeah, I could be working on the spreads for the first book in this series, but they kind of put that on hold, so they're gonna give me a little bit more time. Uh, here you go, Twitch. My my turtle that I'm painting on a rock. Sorry for the glare. How can I can't even get it on the screen. Jeez. Darn you, iMac camera. Okay, there we go. Yay, Mr. Turtle. We're doing this turtle, painting this turtle on a rock. So maybe I'll work on that since I got this done. I mean, I could be working on these spreads just to keep them going, but let me do some physical painting. I'm gonna use the bathroom unless my wife wants to do lunch, and then oh, where'd that line come from? Oh, really? This line? Really? Man, that is pretty lame. Accidental lines. This always happens. Yes, I could work on the turtle, or I can grab a small canvas and work on that. Something I have started, which maybe I'll bring in here. All right. We're gonna leave that as is and save. Hold on, guys. Let me let me refresh this Twitch chat because I'm tired of seeing what the spam message is. Uh, all right, guys. Hold on a second. I'll be back. Because let's see, what do we need? If I'm going to work on this rock, I'm going to need water. I have my brushes. And I'm going to need my paint. Let me turn this off for a second. And yeah, I don't think I have my water in here. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, hold on. Okay. All right, guys. Hopefully we're back. I don't know. I don't know if I can be heard. I'll have to check. Uh, Okay. Well, let's figure out how we can showcase this on Twitch. Or do I have to end Twitch and then um hold on a second. Twitch, how do I do this? Okay, I'm doing video capture. Can I use hmm, oops, video? It's only I can't use my camera. Cancel. How do I? Hold on. Maybe you can't do that with the iPad. Um, hold on, guys. Let me see if it's possible to capture sound. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good job. You move. Watch out, please. And whatever this is, it's from the hospital. So we want. Okay. Okay. Oh, I thought he was done delivering.
Hey, Kate. Welcome, Kate. Good to see you. Hey, Mel. Okay, call you Mel. What? What are you talking about, Kate? Mel's gone. She left. She said she had to run. Okay, guys. I guess. Okay, it's still capturing the sound. Hold on a second. What? Wait, what happened? No, cancel that. Oh, there goes Twitch. Twitch just got blown out of the water. Anyways, all right, guys, guess what came in the mail? My wife got me a lamp. Sorry, Twitch. My wife got me a lamp. Let me move this stuff out of the way. We don't need this really anymore. We'll keep that off to the side. Sorry, it's getting a little crowded in here. And I forgot my water was already in here. Let's check it to see if we need to change it or not. Yeah, it's a little funky. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, we got the fresh water. We got our fresh water. Let's move this out of the way, though, because this is garbage. Random garbage. We're gonna show off the lamp that my wife got. Kate is back. Zoomy, zoomy. Welcome back, Kate. Thank you for joining us. I need to find a place to plug this in, though. Let me turn the heat back on. I don't think I have any available outlets. Maybe I do. Let's see. So at least it's long enough. I can plug it in. I don't know if I'll be able to turn it on, though. Come on. Okay, let's plug this in. Ooh, okay. So this is what my wife got me. It is, whoops, Jean-Michel Basquiat's dinosaur with the crown. This was an image off of one of his pieces, As you can see, they turned it into a lamp. So I'm assuming we did check it, his estate licensed this out. And the company, which is called Yellow Pop, made these lamps. And this is the Jean-Michel Basquiat lamp, Yellow Pop lamp. Pop box is what they call it. And when you turn it on, let's see. Where is it? It lights up. So you see his artwork on there. It's got his signature crown. Now, I'm doing well, Kate. Thank you. I don't usually, it's pretty neat. I don't know. It's a pretty good capture of this particular image that came off of one of his paintings. I'm not sure which painting. You really see the brush strokes, especially in this tail here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I feel like they did a pretty good job in capturing that. Never seen the painting in person myself, but I mean, to be able to capture the brush strokes. And I'm sure this is printed on this material here, or it's printed on something which is attached to the plexi material. And then it has this metal exterior, and it's pretty thick, as you could see. It's about maybe 2 inches thick, or 1.75 inches maybe. It's pretty thick. And it's all the way around. This has like a little metal stand. It comes with the lightning fast USB cord to charge. So, boy, if my place weren't a mess, I'd have a spot for this. But my wife got this for me. I don't usually get stuff like this myself. I'm not much of a memorabilia collector. But my wife saw this and she was like, I'm going to get this for my husband. We also have another one coming, which is a Keith Haring. Keith Haring's dog. It's his little dog. So they'll sit together. She's gotten me a bunch of Basquiat and Haring things. I have these limited edition spray cans with their artwork on it. And like I've gotten various like socks and shirts and stuff. She just keeps getting me, which I appreciate. And they're a couple of my favorite artists from the 80s. So yes, that's the lamp. So I got to figure out a spot to put the lamp, because I don't really have a spot to put the lamp right now. But we'll keep it in the background for now. But yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's about as close as I'm going to get to see an actual Basquiat, unless I know the art museum here has one in its collection. Thank you, Kate. Yep, so I am going to work on my turtle. Maybe someday somebody will make a lamp out of my turtle image. Who knows? But I'm going to put the lamp over here. We'll leave it on. It'll just be part of the background. I need to be able to see the chat, but let me refresh here. And I want to thank everybody for the likes because I forgot to do that earlier. This is a pretty long stream so far at 3 hours, maybe 3 hours plus. And yeah, appreciate the likes. We're gonna work on this rock for a little bit until my wife wants to have that. Not hear anything that I said. Not hear anything that I said for the last 10 minutes. That's funny. Did not hear a word I said for the past 10 minutes. Okay, we don't need any of this stuff around here because it's just getting in the way. Got an earbud, other earbud. Come on. So we have a few people live streaming. You killed D&D Dungeon Tumors, or we have Yaz the artist. Oh, hold on, guys. What's that? Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Okay, guys. Looks like we're wrapping it up. I'll have to come back after lunch to start painting on my rock here. And my wife said she's told me that I was supposed to be wrapping up, and I was like, I didn't hear you say that. So, all right, guys. Yep, we'll be rock painting, and then I can figure out. That's right. Then I can figure out what's going on with my OBS. But yeah, I'll be back on later, probably in an hour. Check on Huz. Did he go live? Are you talking about his stream? But yep, I gotta wrap up. I don't see him. I don't see him at all anywhere. Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn my lamp off. There we go. I don't know about the button for turning on and off the lamp, but all right, guys, it's at and 3 hours and 20 minutes already. So thank you for joining us. Let's go through our list and shout out everybody. Thank you, Pre at Preschool 3 Illustrations. Guys, go check out Pre's. Got some pretty amazing illustrations that he's working on or has done. Allowing for 825, giving you a shout out, even though you jumped in. Didn't say hi, but left a Jesus loves you so much message. Thank you, Long. Sabrina Suburban Garden, thank you for joining us today.
Not sure if you're still there, but have a lovely day and thank you for stopping through. Mm, And me and Bree had quite the conversation going today. Let's see. Melody, thank you, Melody Provenzano, for dropping by and blessing us with your presence in chat for a little bit. I appreciate that. And thank you, Travis at Trap House 1981, for joining us, saying hello. Yeah, guys, go check out Melody and Travis at their respective channels. Melody Prov at Melody Prov and Travis at Trap House 1981 or Travis Prince Art and Education. And last but not least, who didn't get on the leaderboard? Whoa, Kate. Well, you'll have to make that up on the next stream. But thank you, Kate, for joining me, sticking it out with me to the very end of this almost 4 hour long stream. 3 hours and 20 minutes long. Thank you guys for all the likes. I don't know if we got any subs to this stream, but thank you guys anyways. We have in the past few days or few streams we have been, so thank you. We're slowly growing that channel number, and I'll be back again later on after lunch to work on this our rock here, our turtle. We're gonna do some painting on the turtle since we've been putting it off for a while, and yeah, let's try and finish it this next session. So yeah, probably in an hour is my guess. I should be back. So thanks again, guys. Thanks, Kate. Have a lovely day or evening or morning or middle of the night, wherever you're at in the world. And until next time, bye for now. Peace out, guys. Hey, Planeta. Thank you for joining. I am just about to end the stream, but have a lovely day and I wish you the best. All right. Bye, guys.